class 4. Today we are going to do a new chapter that's going to be plants living and surviving. In this chapter we are going to study about the plants found in a different environment. So before that, first you have to understand what is a habitat. It is an environment in which the plant live. So we can also say habitat is a home of that particular plant. And based on the habitat, the plant has been divided into two, that is going to be terrestrial and the aquatic plant. The terrestrial is a plant which is found in the land, and aquatic is a plant that is found in the water. And in this chapter we are going to study about the different kind of terrestrial and the aquatic plant. And also we have to understand the term adaptation in this chapter. What is the adaptation? Adaptation is like the plant need air, water, nutrition, a good temperature, environment, right? Like good weather for plant to grow. But like if you see in a desert, it's very cold, it's very hot, and there is no water over there, very scarcity of water. And other hand, if you go to hilly areas, it's very cold during the snowfall. But still we see that plants are adjusting them, it means surviving over there. For example, let's take the big example. It's going to be the cactus found in the desert. How is cactus surviving in such an extreme weather where there's no very little water and which is very hot? The cactus plant have undergone some changes. Okay, they have made some changes in themselves so they can adjust themselves in that very extreme condition. That is called the adaptation. So certain plant, they make some changes, like a physical change in themselves to adjust themselves in that particular environment is called the adaptation. So now we are going to study about the different kind of plant, like a plant found in the terrestrial, like a terrestrial region. So terrestrial plant. Terrestrial itself is a land. So all the lands are not same. Like we have mountains, we have plains, we have the coastal areas, we have the marshy areas, we have the very cold places, right? We are going to study about the plant found in plains. And plant found in plains have lot of branches and lot of leaves. And those leaves, they capture the sunlight and make food for the plant. And also the people and the name is example of the plant found in the plains. And also in the plains we find two kind of trees, that is going to be an evergreen and the deciduous tree. Evergreen is the tree which shed its leaf throughout the year. So what happens, it is like and there is always a new leaf coming. So what happens, it looks green throughout the year. And in the other hand, in a deciduous tree, what happens, it shades all its leaf in one particular season. So in one particular season, the tree have no leaves. So and they get back its leaf during the spring, and those kind of trees called the deciduous tree. And also we are going to study about the rainforest in the plains. And usually in the rainforest, what happens, the weather is very hot and wet, and there is a very lot of rainfall. So what happens, the tree, they compete among themselves for the sunlight. So they grow very, very tall, and they form a canopy. Canopy is a blanket of the leaves. So what happens, is very hard for the sun rays to penetrate the canopy. So what happens, there are shrubs which grow below the canopy. They usually have a big leaf, so that even when there is a slight sunlight coming in, they capture those to make a food. Now we are going to study about the trees found in the plains. We are going to study about the trees found in the mountains. In the mountains, what happened, the weather is very cold during the winter season, and we can also experience a lot of snows. So what happened, the tree here, they are tall, and they're like straight and tall, and it is of conical shape. Conical is like a cone shape. What happened, whenever there is a snowfall, the snow will slide down slide, so that it cannot collect in the tree. And also the leaf is of needle shape, so it's same with the snow won't be able to collect over there. And also it doesn't have a flower, because if there's a snow, it will damage the flower. So usually it doesn't have a flower, it just have a naked seed. Okay, and we call it cone. Okay, now we are going to study about the plants found in the desert, and the example are going to be the cactus, is going to be acacia, dates. Okay, and usually the plant found in the on the desert have very small leaf, because the leaf have a stomata, right? It's a small hole through and small hole. So what happens if it's very hot? It's going to lose lot of water from the small hole, that is a stomata. That's the reason the leaves are small, that will prevent from loss of water. And also, like in a cactus, what happened, the leaf has been modified into a spine. So in a spine, what happened, there is no stomata, and there is a loss, or there is no water loss from the plant. And also the stem of the leaf, the stem of the cactus is thick and fleshy. Okay, and the photosynthesis takes place in the stem of the cactus, and also store water for the plant, because it is thick and fleshy. And also the root, they go very deep inside the ground to in search of water. Okay, now we are going to study about the plant found in the marshy areas. In the marshy areas, what happens, if the soil is made out of clay, and when it's mixed with the water, what happens, since it's a very fine, what happens, you don't find air. There is no air in the marshy soil. So what happens, the plant cannot survive in such soil. But still we find like mangrove trees over there. What happened, the mangrove trees, what happened, the root grow outward. What happened, suppose what happened, the tree, they grow outward to find the air, and that is how they breathe. And such roots are also called the breathing roots. Now we are going to study about the plant found in the coastal areas. Okay, plant are found in the coastal areas, and the coastal areas are usually very hot, wet and windy. The soil is sandy and water is salty. The tree growing in the coastal areas are tall and straight. They have a crown of giant feather-like leaves which allow the wind to pass through. The coconut leaves grow in abundance in a coastal area. We are going to study about the aquatic plants. The plant found in aquatic habitats such as pond, lake, and rivers and seas are called the aquatic plants. Okay, aquatic plants are of three types: is a fixed, floating, and underwater plant. So first we are going to study about the fixed plant. The fixed plant is, the example is going to be a lotus. But when we see, usually we feel like the lotus is floating on the surface, but the root of the lotus is fixed on the bed of the pond or a river. So it is fixed on the down in the soil of the pond or a river. And what happened, the stem of the lotus is like, it have a hollow inside. That's the reason what happened, it can flow with the current of the water. It does not break when the current is very strong, because it have a hollow inside, and it can easily move with the current of the water. And also, like when we see like the flower is on the surface of the water, and like it have a leaf which is submerged in the water, half the portion is submerged in the water. And usually what happened, the stomata is in the front portion in the front side of the leaf. Usually the stomata is in other leaf you find in the back side, but for the lotus you see in the front side of the leaf, and that helps in the exchange of the gases. Now we are going to study about the next topic. Okay, floating plant. The word itself said floating means it is like floating on the surface of the water. The best example is going to be a water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is which we usually found in the Medic Lake. If you have observed properly, it have a balloon kind of stem, and it is filled with the air, and that helps the plant to float on the surface of the water. And the third one is going to be the underwater plant. Underwater plant, they are completely submerged inside the water. Okay, and they are fixed. The root are fixed on the bed of the lake or the pond or a sea. And what happened, the leaves are narrow and long. The body is flexible so that they can move with the water current. They do not have a stomata and they breathe through air space in the stem. Underwater plants keep the pond clean. Examples of the underwater plants are the tape grass. Now we are also going to study about some other interesting plant like the insectivorous plant. Insectivorous plants insect, that means the plant eating a insect. Usually this kind of plant they grow in a soil where there is no nutrition. So usually they try to get nutrition from the insect. And the example is going to be a Venus flytrap and a pitcher plant. The Venus fly, it's usually like, it looks like the two leaves are like this. When the insect sits here, it closes like this and it will digest the leaf. The next is going to be a parasite plant. Parasite means, the meaning means to, it cannot make its own food. It usually uses other food. It's same way like some plant, they steal the food from the another plant, that is called the parasite plants. So that is all we have in this chapter, and assignment I'm going to send in the WhatsApp. And take care, be safe, bye bye.